is the new BMW 7 Series. Now, you've already seen it on the show, you also read about it in the magazine. So why exactly are we repeating this exercise? Well, that's principally because this new 7 Series now also comes powered with a diesel engine. Yes, it's got a 3-litre diesel, and you've already seen this in the 530D and the X5. But just what does it do to a super luxury executive saloon is what we're here to find out. So stay with me.
Now, I'm not going to get into much detail with this car's styling and how Hui Dong is trying to dim the bangle effect. And how for once, I am not inspired by a BMW interior. This is one Beamer which, having taken away the focus from the driver, is no longer impressive to me. But contrary to popular perception, the 7 Series is a brilliant driver's car, and that perception hails from another quarter.
Under the hood is BMW's N57 D30 engine. It's a straight 6 24-valve common rail diesel engine, and it's assisted by a variable geometry turbocharger that helps it make around 245 PS of max power and an enormous 540 Newton meters of max torque. That's a perfectly adequate engine for a car that's this large and this heavy.
It's an engine that's won numerous international awards for its ability to maximize efficiency without compromising performance, and the 730D is outstanding proof of the pudding. It weighs nearly 1.8 tons, yet returns an overall mileage of 9.2 kilometers per litre and still does 0 to 107.5 seconds.
If someday you do own a BMW 7 Series, drive it. It's a phenomenal experience. There's a huge amount of power and torque at your disposal, and then despite the dimensions of this car, it's long, it's wide, it's heavy. It's a very nimble car to drive, both in the city and out on the highways.
The aerodynamics of this car, the handling package and the easily visible edges make maneuvering the 7 Series relatively simple. For a car that's as long as a truck, the 7 Series still turns easily, and in sports mode, it even attempts to shrink wrap itself around you in true BMW style.
When BMW first launched the 7 Series in India, I tested it in Delhi, and now I'm driving the next generation of the 7 Series. I think the older car was a far better deal, because despite all the tech, and I mean geeks are gonna love the amount of gadgetry inside this car, this still isn't all that convenient. I mean, you have all the space in the world inside this car. It's an enormous cabin. Do you know what? I found it really tough to find place for a bottle of water.
Now, I never thought I could find a flaw or an oversight in a BMW. But that takes away little or nothing from the charm of this car. The 730D at 73.6 lakhs ex-showroom Delhi is then a fairly sensible buy.
So to come back to the question we asked at the beginning, just what does the 3-litre diesel do to the 7 Series? Well, it makes it a very economical car. Relatively speaking, of course, but then this engine is refined, it's smooth, it's powerful, and it offers decent performance. But then, used in the 5 Series, it makes that car spectacular. But out here in the 7, well, it's a healthy, efficient engine. I would have liked some more horsepower, but then if that's what you're looking for, you need to look at the petrol. For a car that's going to be chauffeur driven, well, this engine is economical, gives fantastic cost of ownership, and is a much better value for money car.